Hello beautiful people, my name is Bridget and welcome back. So today we are demolishing any chance of ever getting on a PR list and I really don't care. So this is the video that I've wanted to do for a while. It's something that I thought would be really fun with a whole bunch of different brands, and this is a brand I wanted to start off this little series with. And today I'm going to talk about how I would rebrand and fix the brand Anastasia Beverly Hills. Now this brand has been like in a slump a little bit recently. No shade, it just is what it is. And a lot of people have noticed it, so that's what brand I want to start off today. Tell you how I would fix it and all that good jazz. If you have any other suggestions for the brand, leave them down below. I'd love to know your thoughts on it. And without any further ado guys, let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, before we get started, I do want to talk about this luxury brand today and then talk about something luxurious but at an affordable price, and that is today's sponsor, which is Dossier. So if you guys have been on my channel for a while, you know I'm a really big fan of Dossier because you can get high-end luxury fragrances for a fraction of the cost at like the drugstore, Sephora, anywhere like that. So Dossier scents start off at only $29 to $49 and you get the same fragrances you get at the store for like a fraction of that price, because you know like high-end luxury fragrances can cost up to $400 sometimes, which is absolutely insanity. I'd rather get the same thing for an affordable price with really clean, crisp packaging as well. So you have the same scents that you would normally get, but like you're not paying for that like expensive label, because that's literally what it is. This label is different. I've had like the same like real bottle and the same Dossier one. It's exactly the same. So I want to share two scents with you today that I'm trying out this month. So this first one is Oriental Cherry. It is inspired by Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. So this is how the packaging comes. It has really nice, clean, crisp packaging. If you're into some minimalistic look, these are really pretty. And one of my favorite things I always say about Dossier is every single bottle comes with a small sample. Now this sample you can try out and test before you actually break into the full-size bottle. So if you need to return it, there are free returns. You don't have to use this bottle and waste it. So it's absolutely lovely. These also are great to throw in a makeup bag or purse. This is a very cherry scent. I want to try one different this month. I usually try kind of unisex or very elegant smells. This one has more of a sweetness to it, but it's not overly cherry-like. It has a little bit of floral and sweets, which is very nice. The other one I want to share with you today is inspired by a YSL scent, which again, overly expensive, and I don't really know why, just because of the brand name on it. So this is Floral Lavender, and it is inspired by YSL's Libra. Again, you get a sample with every one, so you don't have to waste it. And Floral Lavender, I would describe as more of a light, airy smell. If you like, I would say light floor, kind of oceany, very open, breathable scents, this is perfect for you. It just has a very light, airy, if you don't like huge amounts of fragrance on your body, this one might be a great option for you. And again, you're saving tons of money from going through Dossier. So be sure to check out Dossier at the top of the description box. Use my link if you're interested. It'll save you a lot of money. And I always appreciate you guys like telling me your feedback on Dossier when you try it. So thank you guys so much. And now let's get started with the Anastasia stuff. Alright, so talking about Anastasia Beverly Hills and how I would fix it, I did take like a bunch of notes just so I don't forget like what I'm talking about today. I made like some short notes so I know I'm going to hit all the points that I wanted to. First and foremost, this is not, I'm not trying to like, oh my god, scandalous, they don't do this to the brand or anything. I don't have an issue with Anastasia Beverly Hills. Let me go ahead and say that first. I don't have an issue with the brand, and I like some of their products. Like they have good eyeshadows. Soft Glam was an absolutely beautiful palette, and I still use their luminous foundation and their setting powder all the time. They have good products. But there's just some things I would improve. Now, the first thing that I was like, oh my god, I'm not trying to cancel anybody. I went through Anastasia in preparation for the video. I went through Anastasia's whole, like Instagram feed a long time. And it is, I mean, I guess that's a good reason I'm doing this video and not anybody else, right? Is the fact that I'm not worried about never getting on a PR list with them because I'm not their target demographic. I don't think Anastasia Beverly Hills is alternative friendly according to their Instagram feed. I mean, everyone has like their target market. You're not going to see me modeling Glossier with like very minimal stuff. That's not what I do. But I do feel like like they do sponsor RuPaul's Drag Race. It has a lot of alternative fashion and everything. And then like I don't see anything alternative on Anastasia's Instagram feed. I found one picture of one girl with one like a floral henna design tattoo on her wrist, and I saw no other like people like me out there. So I'm never gonna get on that list because I'm not their target demographic or whatever anyway. But I do wish they would include other non-traditional or non-types of beauty up there. Honestly, it's like all just sleek, pretty makeup, and then like, ooh, it's edgy. They do a pop of blue as their eyeshadow. Like that's the Anastasia, like, ooh. Sorry. I just had to say it. Just I noticed there wasn't anybody like me on their feed, but it's whatever. Let's go ahead and get started about talking about how I would fix the brand now. So first thing I want to go ahead and say is that they need to split off the Norvina brand. So Norvina is in charge of like Anastasia's marketing and everything right now. She's kind of running the brand, as it seems, who is pretty well known in the influencer space because she's very active on Twitter and stuff. I will say they need to, like, when they made these pro palettes, these Norvina pro palettes, the Norvina lash is actually really like the Gorgina style of lashes from that brand. It was very confusing to most of us whether this Norvina line was Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina stuff, or was it Norvina just under the Anastasia section of the store, under that umbrella. It's very confusing as to whether or not this is actually part of Anastasia's side brand. Is it like a Morphe 2 type situation, or is it its own line in itself? So I definitely think if they're going to keep doing that, they need to identify themselves with their style, which Anastasia Beverly Hills is kind of known for one thing. They do other things, and they have one style. I think if they're going to do it, separate Norvina 100%. Do not attach it to the Anastasia name. Make a whole Norvina brand by itself, which they can afford to do and promote and everything, and get in stores. They have the business connections. They just need to separate that Norvina line completely from the brand. Like, make it a separate brand. Make it its own thing or let it dissolve. I'm not saying the quality of the Norvina products or anything were bad either. I'm just saying it was very confusing as to what the branding was. Was it Anastasia's brand or was it a different one? You know, it just needs to be separated for clarity and for the sake of cohesion within the brand. Next thing I want to say is that some of their new releases have been off for a lot of people. Now, first things first, they had these new face palettes. They just came out, they're in stores and everything, and people were looking at them in stores and taking pictures, and I see them on Instagram feed all the time now. They're like little trios. They're like a blush bronzer little trio thing. They're ugly. They look like a balm palette from 10 years ago. Like, they're like 2012 balm or Too Faced little packaging like that. They have that kind of look to them, and the colors are very uninspired. The packaging on it is very uninspired. The main issue I have with those, though, that like makes it like a Anastasia, you okay girl kind of moment, is the fact that they're $58. They're $58 for these little trios of powders. And Anastasia, you're not even known for like your face powders or anything. You had like some good glow kits back in the day, but no one ever talks about Anastasia bronzers or contours ever. And then $58. $58! It's an excessive price tag for something that looks really uninspired, looks like something for 10 years ago, and this is the price point, and that's ridiculous. If you want to release these, you thought the packaging was cool, you thought the little trio ideas were a good idea for the brand, cool. Maybe I would see them for like a $30 price point for your like high-end brand and everything, but $58, like, this little trio of powders is more expensive than your eyeshadow palettes full price, plus a brush or a brow pomade or something. It's ridiculously priced. Other new release that just came out that I also wanted to note was their makeup wipes. Now, most people are anti-makeup wipes. I personally use them still, even though I know they're bad for the environment, and I know that people say they're bad for your skin, but I like getting the top layer of all my base makeup off first before I wash my face in the sink. I feel like it helps me get my eye makeup better. You know, some of us still like makeup wipes. And all I'm saying is the fact that this would have not gotten as much like back at them as it did if they didn't try to do like, again, like 10 years ago trends, like holographic packaging on the makeup wipes. Like, it's cute, but it's so not necessary. Anastasia is not Morphe. It's not Morphe. It's not like a cutesy kind of moment. It's not like something like that, or like a Wet n Wild where you need the holographic packaging to sell a product. It is definitely like supposed to be, or according to like what they've made us seem, like make us think for the last several years, it's more of a high-end, luxurious pro brand, and then they put in a holographic childish packaging. So that was my issue with the makeup wipes. Makeup wipes are not the worst idea in the world. Some of us still use them, but you know, style choices were not 5. Next that I want to note on is their price point. Now, they did sell things. They were like one of the top tier, like high-end, luxurious, like, you know, everyone still bought it because it wasn't just like a pro thing, but it was like top tier, like A+ makeup everyone was buying from this brand several years ago. It was like 3 or 4 years ago. Everyone was like, this is top tier stuff. Like, Anastasia comes with something, I'm buying it on the spot. It's not like that in the last year or two. And I really think it's because drugstore products have like elevated their quality. And they have elevated their prices as well. Drugstore makeup has gotten more expensive. They're not nearly as expensive, and the quality of some of these things are really good. So let's compare like a Juvia's Place palette, which is really affordable, amazing pigmentation, great quality, great theming and everything for an affordable price. Like their metallic eyeshadows are like chef's kiss beautiful. We have Juvia's Place at the drugstore price. And then you have Anastasia, which has a lot of kickback in the pan. Their powders and their eyeshadows are really pretty. They're really pretty, but you are losing a lot of product that's very fluffy, kicks off a lot of the product, and their quality is a hit or a miss per palette for a way more expensive price point. It just doesn't add up. I feel like if you're gonna keep your same Anastasia formula that we all know, we've all tried, that's all good. But the price point needs to be lower. So that was just a Juvia's Place comparison as far as like quality, price point, color schemes, and everything. So let's take an example of their brow pomades, which is what they were known for years ago. Everyone loved those brow pomades. Everybody's like, I'm using the brow pomade. And we had those really thick brows that we don't talk about anymore, you guys. They are priced at $21. I honestly think they are still going to sell really well. People have tried them forever. But if you lower the price point to say 18, not that much of a price difference, I feel like things sell a lot better. 21 is a little bit high, but you sell things like an $18 price point, which is where a lot of staple products are sold at, like liquid lipsticks and, well, not really brow pencils. Brow pencils are usually cheaper than that. But an exact example, like liquid lipsticks or a brush. That's the kind of price point where people are more comfortable with compared to 21. And you could probably sell it just as well, if not better. The other price points as far as everything can kind of like just a little bit. Their palettes go on sale a lot, you guys, and they're often in TJ Maxx and Ross and stuff. So I think we should really lower their palette price point, especially because you are getting a lot of kickback in the pan, and their velvet packaging on some of their palettes is very pretty. But no matter how clean of a person you are, it gets dirty. So their palettes originally priced at $49. I would say bring them down to $31. I did look this up on the side and everything. So a lot of their palettes are on sale for $31.50 currently on their websites. So I would say instead of leasing them at $49 originally, start them off at $31.50. If you need to go into on sale after that, TJ Maxx prices for them are usually about $17. You could still sell them for $31 right off the bat. Like launch day, you probably sell a lot more palettes at $31 price point compared to $49 when the quality of these have been hit or miss the last couple years. So that's something I would suggest as far as price points. It's still a high-end price point because again, usually drugstore eyeshadows are $20 or less. There's a couple that are bigger palettes, a little bit more than that, but typically drugstore prices are $20 and less. You're still in that luxury brand price point that they want to be in because they want to be seen as this high-end product. So at $31, you're still high-end consumer prices, but not abnormal for like what the quality is, you know? Next thing that I would suggest is to get rid of the list. Well, not get rid of the list. You know, everyone was talking about the list last year when Norvina was like, asking for people to send them makeup looks and everything to get on the PR list. Now, PR lists are very strategic, and I'm not going to be a bee about it. I'm not on as many PR lists as most people with my channel size, but I don't understand the concept of like, send me your looks, even if you have 5 followers, you can get on this PR list. That's really good as far as like people who have smaller sizes of like followers and everything have great skill levels, more so than like, you know, a lot of us. I'm not saying that like don't let them get like stuff for their talent. I'm not saying that. As far as a business model for Anastasia Beverly Hills though, PR is a strategy move. As far as like if I send them this, I'll get their followers to see their stuff they're trying out, they'll use it and promote it for me. I just think, you know, searching for people that fit your brand and around the same audience point that you want them to have, you should be reaching out to them. People should not be like, please put me on your PR list. It's just not healthy for anybody. It makes people feel like they're excluded if they didn't get on it, if their friends got on it. Anastasia has a marketing team. They should be reaching out to people they feel like fits their brand, fits like the size of followers they want, fits their style that they want, and like it'd be a good exchange of business because PR in the end is a business. Like you're sending it to someone hoping that they spread as their followers. That's what you're looking for in a PR business arrangement. And I just feel like having people being like, anybody can do it, which means everyone is just promoting your stuff for free, hoping to get on this list for something else free, just seems like a toxic environment. And it really flooded our feeds and really overwhelmed a lot of us on the internet when they did that list. So I feel like they should just have a marketing team doing their list for them. And like, I'm not saying don't give stuff to small influencers. I'm just saying it is a business arrangement and they're only using people on Instagram. So I feel like Instagram's a lot of fake stuff too. I'd rather have like a YouTube I'm not saying me, because I mean, obviously I'm not the target demographic, but let's say like, let's have Manny MUA or something do an Anastasia video. I feel like that's more beneficial than just like tagging 20 products in a Instagram picture, you know? I don't know. I just feel like YouTube and even TikTok, because you can see the demonstration of everything, is better for promotion than just like an image on Instagram. The last thing that I want to go ahead and touch on, it was kind of my first thing too, when I was saying that like they're not like promoting alternative stuff. I just think they've lost their sense of identity. Like, I did go through their feed to see what kind of styles and everything that they are posting, but I can't make up my mind whether they're trying to be classy or they're trying to be like, ooh, a pop of color is edgy. I feel like with certain palettes, so let's say like Soft Glam is something they're known for, Modern Renaissance, both very beautiful, romantic, even the original Norvina palette, very beautiful, romantic eyeshadow palettes, and it gives like the same vibe, like very pro-end, very pretty color scheme, very well put together. And then you have something with none of those aesthetics that we think of when it comes to Anastasia, other than the layout being the same. Like the Alyssa Edwards palette. No shade to Alyssa Edwards, she's everything. But like the palette quality was trash, first of all. That white shade, girl, no, white shade was trash. And then like, this doesn't say high-end luxury well put together color scheme like the rest of them do. I'm not saying you can't have fun with the colors. I'm not saying don't use bright fun colors in your palettes. I'm not saying you're excluded to that. I'm just saying that it needs to be put together in a way that fits the overall brand. Like when they had the side Norvina palettes and everything going on, again, I was like, is this supposed to be like the fun side of Anastasia, or is it a separate brand? I just couldn't tell, because Anastasia is kind of known for more elegant pro-like stuff compared to just like, here's 20 shades of green and orange, you know? I just don't know. Something about their branding seems a little bit off to me, especially with like the new holographic makeup wipes we just talked about. That doesn't match like the sleek, clean, crisp brand that we've come to know. I just don't understand. If they want to rebrand, there's other ways to do it. Another way, a like example of rebranding is like KVD Beauty. Now, the first KVD Vegan Beauty rebrand did not go well, but they rebranded into something that originally fit how they did it, but in a different way. So originally it was Kat Von D, and it was very like high arts, crisp, dark, gothic packaging. And now they transitioned into dark, sleek, tattoo-inspired artwork, which fits originally what they went with. So I'm not saying Anastasia still has to be like boring colors, professional. I'm just saying there's a different way to do it. Like, they can go towards the subculture side, even though the subculture palette was a fail. I'm just saying they could do colors, which that had fun colors in it, and still match the brand without being just like pink, yellow, white, blue. You know? I just feel like there's different ways to do it. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry if this came off a little bit like negative or anything, and I'm also not trying to cancel them for not being alternative friendly. Everyone has their own style or anything. I just feel like people are going to give me crap for that later on. But anyways, thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below. I greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Let me know down below if you want me to do another one of these rebranding videos, and I'll certainly do it for you. All right, bye guys. Have a great and safe day out there.